Welcome, stars. This is G. We're going to take a look at the United States natal chart in conjunction with the upcoming full moon. We have the April 26th full moon. There are interesting energies that lead up to the full moon. I'm going to actually start there first. Inside chart is the United States chart. Okay, so the United States has their Saturn at 14 degrees and 48 minutes in Libra. Saturn. Neptune. This has been a big problem with this pandemic, is Neptune at 22 degrees in the sign of Virgo. Okay, 22 degrees and 25 minutes, Neptune. The big deal is that the transiting Neptune, the current Neptune up in the sky, look at that, 22 degrees and 9 minutes. All right, so 2225, 2209. This Neptune has not even reached its point of exact opposition yet. It will on May 1st. May 1st is when this Neptune will be at the matching degrees of this Neptune. It's not just the pandemic all by itself, but Neptune is cloudy things. It's water, it's illusion, it's delusion. It makes it hard to grasp, hard to understand, hard to pin down and get past. Neptune is very powerful. The transiting Neptune is in the sign of Pisces, so it's very strong here. It rules the sign of Pisces. United States Neptune is in Virgo. So this is water. Virgo is earth. They're both mutable, okay, so they're both flexible and changeable, but Virgo energy is the health habits, health routines, hygiene routine, how I serve those who are important to me. That's Virgo energy. It is also domesticated pets. Keep that in mind. But health routine and alternative health, this is very important when it talks about Virgo energy and Neptune being there. Neptune, it can make things fuzzy, but Virgo is all about the details. Virgo is all about, I can see the steps that it takes to get to there. And I know how to line them up. I know how to take those steps. I know what order to put them in to get me to that next place. But with Neptune there, with Neptune hiding the health routine, with Neptune dissolving the details of the hygiene routines, and just how do you operate in a pandemic? Should we mask? Should we not wear them? Should we take the vaccine? Should we not take the vaccine? Should we isolate? But this is substances. How's that? This is substances. Okay, so using substances for our health, using drugs for our health, because yes, Virgo is your stomach, your digestive system, okay, more specifically. And so Neptune brings in the murky water. You know, it's that water, but yet you can't see through that water because it's all cloudy underneath and funky. Like that's what Neptune brings. Now, that's just a regular, not so positive view of Neptune, okay? But Neptune, on a really high level of expressing, it's a very idealistic energy. It says, okay, I can take this up to a whole nother level and I can be perfect. I can have perfect health. And this is what I need to do to have perfect health, right? And so in Virgo, it can be very self-critical. Okay, Virgo energy is very critical energy. People who have Virgo energy are very self-critical to the point where they believe they have to be pristine and perfect. And that's not who human beings are. We are all beautifully flawed. That's what makes us a human being. April full moon. It's at 7 degrees, full moon of Scorpio. This is on April 26, 7 degrees in the sign of Scorpio, 7 degrees, 6 minutes. Anytime you have a full moon, you have the moon at one end of the energy. The opposite of Scorpio energy is Taurus. So that means we have the moon in Scorpio and the sun in Taurus at the same exact degrees, 7 degrees, 6 minutes, Taurus energy. Okay, so that's what makes a full moon, when the sun and the moon are at the opposite ends of each other. So the full moon's on the 26th. You've got Venus and Mercury still over here. You've got Mars over here. Yes, days before. Mars, around April 21st, Mars was just at the 29 critical degree mark of Gemini, which again brings information that we're not real happy about. So full moons, a time of increased emotions. a time of letting go. This is letting go of shared values. Because we've been blessed with free will, we have the ability to take these basic values and stretch them to make them more than they ever were originally thought to be and to mean, right? So our values, some people say this represents sex because it's a sign of bonding, of energetic bonding, but of also physical bonding, but emotional bonding. And so for the United States, this is in their 11th house. The 11th house is groups. This is humanity. So there is a full moon in the United States chart. It's a release of group energy. That's what a full moon is. It's an ending. It's a release. I said values because values are we energy in Scorpio. It's yours and mine. You know, it's number 8. It comes after this house number 7, which is significant one-on-one relationships. The number 8th house is, you know, we've gotten married. We're partners now, and now we have shared resources. We have shared values. Like we have assets. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my assets. This is our assets. My values, our values. Our values, group values. There's a release. So we're releasing something. And on an esoteric level, this definitely could be we are releasing our bonds and our contracts with other souls that we've come into this lifetime with. It lines up with the energy that I've been reading for the past few new moons and full moons of a new beginning, of a new soulful beginning, raising up to the next cellular layer. SOULULAR, a cellular level, meeting up with the next souls for new experiences. This full moon, this energy, it trines the United States Jupiter. The United States Jupiter is at 6 degrees. That's at 556 in Cancer, which is good to know. And it's also good to know, this is one of the things that's wonderful, is that Mars, this is really good to know. Mars at this time is at 2 degrees in the sign of Cancer, so it's trining the full moon. Mars will be trining, not squaring, trining. I keep saying this because a trine means it adds ease. It's in water, so this is good. Remember about the Mars and Cancer energy. This is our deep emotions. This is emotions from childhood. This is your emotional foundation, is to be aware of Mars being in the sign of Cancer. So have patience. Remember, Mars is impatient, but Mars can inflame the emotions. Out of bounds Mars, that it is extreme. It's Mars on Red Bull, like 5 or 10 cans of Red Bull. And Mars is already like that anyway. Mars is the warrior, the fighter, the marine. Mars is your physical body or actions. Mars is your ego. Mars out of bounds does peak at its most extreme on April 23rd. So the full moon is a release and our shared values. And when we look to see if there's anything squaring it, the square would be a fixed sign. So that's in Leo, and there is. And this is the big kicker as to why I pulled this up. Because this full moon, see this? This is the United States North Node in Leo, and this is the United States South Node. So the United States needs to grow up their Leo. It's the creative energy. It's about children. It's about my creations. It's about joy, activity, having fun, games, having a good time. The United States is leaving. We're trying to learn how to not be dependent on this. This is not saying that we're letting go of our children and our creations. I think it's more of a recreational sports, professional sports, because of the square that the sun is giving it. You see that? The sun's at 7 degrees. That's what makes this full moon tricky, because it's, you've got the sun at 7 squaring the United States North and South Node, and you've got the full moon. It's a big, great square. This is a fixed full moon, and it has a great square in it. A fixed energy in Scorpio at 7, a fixed energy in Leo at 6:35, which equals 7. The sun in fixed Taurus, fixed Earth, 7 degrees. So fixed fire, fixed Earth, and then we have fixed air in Aquarius energy right there, 6:35, which is 7. So at 7 degrees, the number 7, the number 7, the number 7. House number 2, number 5, number 8, and number 11. So our values. So for this full moon, the North Node in the United States chart points out that this is where we're headed as a nation. And so it's emotions, it's our shared values. Can we learn how to do that? The South Node, this is the South, this is the group energy, and this is the US's South Node in that. And so many times, being that this is fixed and the moon's squaring that, the sun and the moon squaring our values. So we're releasing a value and we are grasping onto something. We're headed towards our North Node. So the United States in their North Node in Leo, their goal, whenever you have a North Node in Leo, you're not so good about focusing on the individuals within the group. You're really good at the group, right? Because this is your South Node. You were really good at that. You're trying to focus on the individuals. You're trying to be cognizant of the individual needs of those that are in the group. That's what the goal of this North Node is. How to acknowledge the individuals that make up the group and make them part of our value system. And so this is wonderful news for this energy, for the Chiron energy in Aries, that the North Node, United States is going to have a Chiron return. And that's all about our appearances. The issues of racism and sexism in the country. For the full moon, group energy, big release. Elevate, use the power of the Taurus energy. It's raise it up to something that is greater than you. Raise it up to Allah, to Yahweh, to God, to Great Spirit, to the universe. Raise it up and know that you have those divine sparks, those divine degrees within you. And just because you haven't tapped into them yet doesn't mean they don't exist. They do. Divine created you. Consider something that we don't know anything about and to be open and to raise it up, to get down on that one knee, to lift that problem up and let the light of the bull shine on it and let it dissolve the darkness. Let the light come through. Let the light light your path. Let the light shine for you.